What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Bass Union. My name's Joe, and in today's video I'm going to give you guys a few tips to catch more and bigger fish in the summertime with a jig. Let's go. So starting off, before I even pull the rods out of the locker, I like to do a lot of idling. I like to check multiple areas with the graphs and idle over them, see if we have bait, if there's fish relating to it, if there's structure. My favorite thing is if I can find an isolated piece of structure while I'm idling and it's holding fish, that's my go-to. That's what I love to target with a jig. So I'm gonna idle around for a little bit. I'm going to show you guys what I look for, and if we find some good pieces of structure, I'll highlight it and show you, and we'll turn the boat around, make some casts on it. If we can catch some fish, that'll be a bonus. But I just want to show you guys just a taste of my approach to fishing in the summertime with a jig. The graphs I'm using right now, I have a carbon 12 at the console. I mainly use this one for my mapping, and then I just picked this one up. This is a HDS Live 16. I use this when I have the down scan, sonar, and the side scan going. So at my console, this is my office. When I'm idling around, I have all the screens open. I can see what's going on. The mapping helps me relate to the lake, the body of water I'm on. It gives me an idea, the contours, does this point go way out? Does it stop? Is there a saddle? Is there a hump? And it gives me a lot of information before even going to the area. So this graph right here, off the bat already, I'm pretty deep. I'm in 80 feet of water right now. I'm just kind of floating towards the bank, but I can see a few things, and it might go unnoticed to the untrained eye, but something I notice off the bat is the thermocline. Basically, during the summertime, the surface temperature gets a lot hotter than the rest of the water column. So right here, you see all this fuzziness on the down scan, and you can see it on the sonar too. This is where the temperature break is. So on the surface, we have a temperature of, what we got, 79 degrees, almost 80 degrees. So about 15 feet down, that's where that temperature starts to change. So I imagine it's going to go down a few degrees at least, right real close, and then the deeper you get, the colder it's going to get. So I'm seeing a majority of fish in bait between 15 to 40. So a lot of the activity is going to be within that zone. A lot of life is there. So what does that mean for us? I'm going to be looking for structure and areas to fish in that zone. I'm not even gonna worry about anything shallower than 15 feet right now. So idling around and finding that isolated structure is gonna be very key, especially if I can find it at that depth. So just pulled the rods out of the locker, and off the bat, I'm going to show you my setup, what I'm going to be using today. I have a Dobbins Champion 733 XP. I got that paired up with some 12-pound fluorocarbon line. Got a loose speed spool, and the jig I'm throwing today is a Bass Union 1/2 ounce finesse football jig. This is a matte brown blue. Got it paired up with a Gary Yamamoto double tail grub and cinnamon black and purple flake. This right here is my confidence. I love throwing these finesse jigs on reservoirs where it's open water. You're fishing a lot of structure, fishing rock, coming down points. This is my go-to bait. Oh, that's what I wanted. Maybe I'll come back. Oh, yeah. Let's see. He's there. There we go. That's what we want right there. These spotted bass are notorious for short striking it. As long as you let that thing sink all the way back down, they usually come back for it. There we go. Look at that little guy. He's dark too. He choked that Bassian jig though. First fish of the morning. So he's little. He's not big by any means, but you know, that fish hit it, set the hook, pulled away from him, he hit it again, pulled it away from him, and then he finally just choked it. So these spotted bass are notorious for doing that. As long as you just let that thing sink back down, chances are you're gonna get bit again. Definitely fish on this point. Another little guy. Little guy. Ooh. I want your mama. He choked it though. Fish had it. Oh, got a jumper. Fish had it once it hit the bottom. See, all I'm doing is just picking this point apart. I know there's a ton of bait on it. See fish busting on the surface. And like I said, I'm just targeting that deeper zone. That's 3 fish already I pulled off the spot. Not big, but it's a good sign. You know, I feel like if I keep doing this throughout the day, I cover enough water, I'm gonna catch some better ones. See, I started over here to begin with, caught some fish. Now I'm just working down the bank, trying to stay in that zone. And I'm using that jig as a tool, as an extension of my graphs. You know, I found an area, now I'm picking it apart with the jig. See, I'm just dragging bottom nice and slow, tossing it out there, filling all the, you know, the rock. If it's a mushy bottom, you're not going to feel much, but once you start dragging over some rock, you'll notice on your tip it'll dun, dun, dun. You keep doing that long enough, you're going to get those bites that you're wanting. Oh, there we go. Fish was taking off with it. Oh, it just snapped me off. Okay. Ooh. Come on. Easy there, Betsy. It's another example right there. Fish hit it, set the hook, missed him. He came back and he was taking off with it. Snapped me off. That one got him on a green pumpkin. There we go. That's the kind we want right there. A little better. There we go. Now this is the kind we want, at least on Oroville. thing choked it. That's how you want them eating it right there. See that? So, you know, I'm making a cast down this long tapering point right here, and let's let this fish go. Making a cast down this long tapering point, and I'm just casting up a little shallower, you know, again, kind of just starting at that 10-15 zone and just working out down to 25, 30, 35. And that fish probably, I think he was more like 25 feet where you just smoked it. And you know, just maintaining bottom contact the entire time. That's so key. If I feel like I'm about to get hung up, usually I'll just give it a little pop and try to pop it over. A lot of times that'll trigger the strike. But that fish hit it just slowly dragging down, hitting rocks, dunk, 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 dunk. Just cracked them, brought him to the boat, kept pressure on the rod, and it was close to 2 pounds. So for Oroville, 2-pounders are gold out here, and they are. Lately though, 2.5 pounders have kind of been the, you know, if you're fishing a tournament, you're almost needing 2.5 pounders to make like the top 5 or top 3. So we're on the right track. Caught one good one so far, bunch of little guys, so let's keep pushing. And if you guys want to pick up any Bass Union jigs, they're available at bassunionfishing.com. It's the only place you can get them right now. You know, I make these all by hand, one by one. I pour them, paint them, tie them, do the whole shebang, and made right here in the USA. So very proud of these things. Won a lot of money with these over the last few years. And you know, we've also got some new styles. We got a stand-up football, we got a stand-up brush jig. You know, we're constantly trying to improve and get new product on the website. So if you guys need to restock some jigs, check them out. There we go. That's a decent one. See, I like this light rod because it just absorbs it all. There we go. It's a better one. Come on. This is why we throw the Bass Union jig right here. Look at this fish. Look at that fish right there. That's why we throw it. Now that's a solid 2.5, 2.7. I don't know if you can see that, but he's just spitting up crawdads too. I'm telling you right now, the more I come out here, the more I love this place. This is my backyard, 5 minutes away. This is where I learned to fish. Just, let's get a weight on them. What do you guys think it is? Got crawdads coming out of his mouth. Let's see. That's better. 231. By no means is this a giant. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're coming out here to Oroville and you're competing, you want this fish. Let's go ahead and get a release. That was sick. So now we're putting a few pieces of the puzzle together. This one point, I've pulled 2 quality fish off of. That's the name of the game, folks. You got to cover water. Cover. You know, in one spot you might be catching small fish. Get out of there. Keep moving. When you catch one good one, usually there's more around, and this was the perfect example of it. So what have we learned so far? The fish are definitely 10, 15 deeper. I'm catching smaller fish, shallower, and so far those two that were good size came in 25 plus. So a little deeper. I think those bigger fish like the cooler water. So I'm gonna continue targeting that zone, hop a few more points. If we can catch some more decent sized fish, we'll show them on the camera. But let's see what we can do. Man, I thought you were gonna be a little bigger, buddy. Thing just smoked it. Get bigger. I'll tell you what, guys, had a blast. Got out here for just a real short, just a few hours. Tell you what, that summer heat's kicking on pretty good, and I got a few other things I need to do, run around this lake and try some other things before we got some other guide trips coming up. But I just want to tell you guys, don't be scared to throw a jig. And you see kind of how I'm positioning. I'm throwing way offshore, away from the bank. These fish out here, these spotted bass, I mean, I've caught them so deep, you won't believe the depth that I've caught them at. So, getting out off the bank and hitting 25, 30, 35, that's no big deal. But a lot of fish are kind of positioning in that area. So if you can get down to those depths, I'm sure you guys are gonna catch some more fish. Again, if you guys would like to purchase some jigs and help support the channel, check out bassviewandfishing.com. Got plenty of hats, shirts, apparel. We'll also be having a sale here come this weekend for 4th of July. So I think I'm gonna drop it. We'll announce the sale, let's see, Friday at midnight. So stay tuned, check out the website. Everything will be 20% off. So get you guys some jigs and all that good stuff. But yeah, if you guys are in Northern California, or if you'd like to try out Lake Oroville, come on out. I guide out here. I'm one of the few guides that are licensed, permitted, bonded, insured, the whole 9 yards. So come on out. We'll get you guys catching some fish, learning a few new techniques, and having a great time. So hope you guys like this video, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.